Hello and welcome back. I'm Shelfie and this is my continuing Let's Play of Underrail. Sorry. So, last time we failed to kill the beast. I've read up on it and we can't physically actually kill it with gunfire or any other weapon. We have to lead it out into the forge and have the forge kill it. But I did find, as I was wandering around, that I could actually get into this room here, which I don't think I'd been in before, for some reason. If I recall, this is where, what's her name was? The mad psycho that we took down. We've never actually been in here before. So we will be just doing a touch of exploration. No, it's a shame. So that's everything there. We can come out of here now. I'm not 100%, but I think it involves us talking to the mayor. A quick save. I think we've been in here, haven't we? Yeah, we've been in here. That's a shame. Now, I can't remember where the bloody mayor's gone. Is there another way down into the mines? Or is that just the under areas? Still. Such is life. Now, where the hell are we? There we are. So, let's get out of this bit. Come on. Now, the mayor's up here. Yeah, the mayor's in here. Chief. There's the mayor. I heard you had some problems with mine creatures. Is there anything I can do to help? Yes, Chief told me you're somebody who can be trusted. As far as I understand it, you're a great assistance in some important matters. Well, and good. If you really are so keen on helping us here in Star, why not give us your chance? You do have energy. Alright. As you know, unless you've been living in the most remote cave unknown to humanity, Foundry is the largest exporter of iron in the lower Underrail. What's even better is that our mine is rich, not just with iron, but aluminium, titanium, and as of recently, chromium. Oh, excuse me. We discovered large amounts of it several months ago, in the form of chromite ore. Needless to say, as soon as we discovered it, our miners began following the chromite veins, and so a few weeks ago they mined into a new cavern and encountered the very creature you mentioned. What they saw there was unlike anything we've ever seen or heard of before. These beings had shells made of rock, with metallic blades protruding from their backs. Yes, you heard me right, shells made of rock. The creatures were aggressive, and we had to bring in the Foundry Guard to deal with them. Now, those creatures, while resilient, were still no match for our brave troops. The true problem revealed itself when the guards encountered the beast. The beast? Yes, the thing may look like its smaller siblings, but it is in fact a four-legged boulder. A huge monster which stopped the Foundry Guard dead in its tracks. Meanwhile, it's unstoppable. The guardsmen tried nearly everything. They shot it, burned it, threw grenades at it. Nothing. It's hard rock. Most of the men sent to clear the mine are now dead, and I've had no other options but to order the closing of the mine. The problem will be hurting Foundry really fast if we don't find a way to deal with those things. Days, a week at most, before we run out of ore supplies, after which all production will stop. Why not just use lots of explosives and call it a day? At one point we did consider using explosives to collapse the tunnel and seal them off, but our mining supervisors advised us against it. What's worse, even though things have been a bit quieter in the mines for the last few days, the rock creatures are emerging from the mines and attacking people. Although some of the deaths we thought were caused by the rock creatures were actually murders, you helped Chief Banisov. All entrance to the mines are heavily guarded, so we're baffled to learn that some people have gone missing. Mind if I interrupt you for a second, sir? Not at all, Chief, not at all. I was almost done anyway. Go ahead. As you see, young lady, this is a problem which could, if left unsolved, mean the end of Foundry. Mine does not only feed the mouths of these people here, but also secures their protection. Do you think the Foundry Guard operates solely on goodwill? If you really want to help us, my suggestion is that you first speak with the only survivor from the unit that was tasked with clearing the mine. He knows more about the creatures than any one of us. His name is Saban Walov. You can find him at the mine entrance with the other guards. It's just to the east of the metalworks. Well, why didn't you relieve him of duty? I think he deserves some rest after what he's been through. I discussed that with him, but he was adamant about staying with in service. He asked to be posted right at the mine entrance, first line of defence. Brave man, no doubt, and a fine example to the other guardsmen. Got it. Is that all? Nearly. You might also want to speak to Marcos Bandy. He's our mining supervisor. You'll find him in the also find him in the mine entrance. He did advise us against collapsing the part of the mine with explosives, but talk to him again. Perhaps he could work out some solution to the problem. I believe we've gone through everything. I'm on the job. Well and good. Now go and report to us once you have something. Okay, well, I didn't realise we hadn't actually started that quest. Right. So, now we need to go to the entrance to the mines again. I assume someone will be there now. Okay, let's head across to try and find where that is. How do we get in here again? I have forgotten. Ooh, stairs. I'd forgotten about this place. Nothing in here, of course. What's up here? In the wrong place. Who goes there? Syrian Star. Leave. Yeah, I think we've been up here. Still. Always interesting. Always interesting. How do I get into there? Is there a door? There's a locker here. There's no way that I can get into this area. Still, such is life. We can do that next time. Let's quick save. Let's try and get in here now, shall we? Hi. Okay, let's see what's in the locker. Mining helmet, boxing gloves and a lifting belt. Nothing particularly interesting. Come on. Entrance to the mine is one of these. None of these people though. They're going to be here now. Are they going to be in the mine? Was this the entrance to the mine they were talking about? Could well be? So here is Marcos, and here is Saban. First, the tall guard responds to your approach with silence. The uniform nature of all Foundry guardsmen makes it difficult for you to discern any distinct features. But in this case, one jumps into view like a mine shroom in the dark. Its damaged shield bears wounds of a relentless attack that can only be attributed to a wild, savage creature. Large scratches, dents and dried blood streak the shield as if it were a canvas left to the mercy of a deranged painter. The shield's outer rim has numerous bite marks on it. Oops. Sorry, 1 second. I just knocked a light over. Where are we? There we go. Sorry about that. And the shield's outer rim has numerous bite marks on it that seem to have been caused by the malicious motion of powerful jaws. Your inspection comes to a halt when the guard utters a simple word. Yes? Can you tell me anything about the mine creatures? First, it's very unsafe to be in this area and you should leave. Second, I can't speak about it. It's classified. It's alright, Chief Banner sent me here to talk to you about the current situation. I see. Well, in that case, my name is Saban, and almost everyone here calls me Sapke. Well, Sapke it is. I'm Sir Evenstar. Pleased to meet you, Sir Evenstar. Now, listen up. His voice undergoes a few subtle changes, becoming drier and somewhat distant. After our miners first encountered the Bladelings, a group of us was sent inside the mine to deal with the creatures. While the reports implied they were unusual in appearance, only when we encountered them did we realize how strange these creatures actually were. Sure, they had 4 legs, 2 eyes, a mouth, the usual, but their shells were made of hardened rock, fused with their bodies, with metallic blades protruding from their backs. It was an unreal sight. Why do you call them Bladelings? I wonder. Duh. Alp, one of the guardsmen, gave them the name. We were clearing the mine together and he named the creatures like that because of the blades on their backs. We called them Rockies, and Little Blades, and then finally Bladelings. The name Bladeling kind of stuck. Can you tell me about your encounter with the beast? Yes, the beast. The bloody creature was responsible for the deaths of 9 guardsmen. 9 of my dear friends. It looks similar to the Bladelings in general appearance, but it's much bigger. Longer black back blades and a much thicker shell. In fact, its shell was so thick nothing we used could penetrate it. Fired bullets, high explosives, the beast shrugged it off like we were throwing marbles at it. It, on the other hand, had no trouble doing damage to us. By pure luck, I was the only one who managed to escape with my head still sitting on my shoulders and shield here. It serves as a reminder. I think it's the only one, or could there be more? So far we've seen only one. Luckily it was in one of the dormant caves deeper past the mine. It appeared to be very old with, as I said, a much thicker shell than the smaller ones. Also it was riddled with scars, as it was tough, like a boulder rolling toward you. If there are more like that, well... Excuse me. We're in a lot of muck. Whatever the case may be, I will hunt down that creature and end its existence. I feel it. It's very brave of you to be at the first line of defence after what happened to your friends. Look, I've worked with those men for years. We fought Ironheads, Raiders and whatnot. Not for a second was there any doubt that my back wasn't safe whenever chaos ensued. I know they felt the same. It's a special connection, that trust burned into you by the hot branding iron of combat. Seeing them die there saddens me and infuriates me. If I could strangle the beast with my own hands, shove the shield down its throat, I'd do it in a heartbeat. And here looks like I'm waiting for it to come to me. I think you can kill it alone. I don't care, I just want it to die as painfully as possible. Anything about the worms in the mine? I remember those things had strange heads shaped like drills. They weren't aggressive, so we usually paid no attention to them. We had bigger problems to deal with. Some of the guys did shoot them or step on them. A few they hadn't had time to find a hiding place. In any case, they were no threat to us at the time. Well, I needed to know, thank you. And we'll talk to Marcos next. I need something. Can you tell me about yourself? No, I can tell you it's none of your business. More questions? You can tell me about the mine creatures. Look, woman, I shouldn't talk about that. You dig? He coughs. I don't want to be responsible for spreading any rumors, so my mouth is shut until the Foundry Guard deals with this whole situation. Dig what I mean? But your mayor sent me here to talk to you. Oh, mayor? Oh, I see. The big boss wants you to convince me to use explosives in the mine to stop the Rockies. I know, we already talked about it. But my answer is still the same. No, can do. It'll collapse half the damn mine and send us back who knows how many months. I know this mine at the back of my palm. It's every nook and cranny. I know that a detonation would hurt us more than them creatures. Using explosives should be the last option. Dig. Do you already use explosives in mine? Well, yes, but the part of the mine that we found in the Rockies was extremely unstable and not suited for explosives. We got some huge cracks going across the ceiling in that area, so it doesn't make it genius to figure out what had happened. We haven't had the time to secure it, and won't thanks to the stupid Rockies. I see. What can you tell me about the creatures themselves? Well, I personally never saw one of those things. The guardsman who did told me they got a shell made completely out of rock. I've also heard that there's a bigger rock creature, and that's the real reason why the Foundry Guard can't clear the mine. Smaller ones, while not exactly friable, are not that tough, but the Big Daddy is pretty much invulnerable. That's what I heard. Marcos removes one of his gloves, pulling off one finger at a time, reveal a huge, rough-skinned hand with dirty chip nails. He continues with a one-sided smile. Now, I bet no one mentioned them funny-looking worms to you, huh? He proceeds to imitate the vermicular movement with his index finger, moving it a few centimeters to the left and with each wave of the motion. Right? I saw him in the mine. What do you know about them? Ah, so you found him after all, because still, I think you'll find what I'm going to tell you quite useful. Listen. Several months ago, we found chromite deposits in the mine. So far, we've mostly mined iron, titanium, and stuff like that, but no chromium. So we started digging in that direction. Along the way, we found strange patches of chromite. Where you get from chromium from? It had them worms in it. You know, miners drill the ore, and worms with drills for heads would come out of it. Never seen anything like it before. Weird stuff. I'm telling you, the worms would just get out of there and be on their way, never bothering us or anything. Now, after the Rockies attacked us, some guardsmen went deeper into the mine and told us the worms were all over the caves. I think it's all connected somehow. Maybe the Rockies feed on the worms, or maybe it's something else. I don't know. Thought I should tell you. That. He coughs. He puts his gloves back on. So look out for you. Tell Marshall we're not using explosive dig. Is there anyone here in the Foundry who can help me inspect the worms from the mine? Biologist of some kind, expert in his field, preferably. 2 heads are better than tackling this than one. Expert? Nope. Biologist, like a zoologist or similar, highly doubt it. He coughs. There ain't much work for biologists in here. This being, well, Foundry, someone could have stopped at the bar or visited a relative, or better than that. Nope. In the end, I think you're going to have to seek help from somebody outside Foundry. He coughs and then shrugs. I think my best option is to make a trip back to SGS and see Quentin. There you go, he coughs. Down friable throat. He coughs again. So, anything else you got to ask me? See you later. Yeah. Okay, well. That, at least, means we need to go back to SGS. Lovely job. So I shall see you back at SGS in a little bit. And we're back. And we are with Quentin. I wanted to ask you about some creatures that are plaguing Foundry at the moment. Thought you might know something. Foundry? Sure. Can you describe the creatures to me? These are highly aggressive quadrupedal creatures most easily recognised by shells made of rock with metallic blades protruding from their backs. Ever seen anything like that? Never. It sounds really intriguing. I'd remember it, that's for sure. If you could bring me some part of the creature or a live specimen, I'd be more than happy to share anything I learned with you. And there are these worm-like things with weird heads shaped like small drills. Drills? I've seen a fair share of odd beings, but one with a drill for a head, never in my lifetime. Could you catch one if that's possible? I'd love to take a look at the creature. You two need some answers, or else you wouldn't be talking to me in the first place, Let's quickly trade as we got everything that he wants. 4 medicines. Excellent. Let's... no, not all of them. Let's... split. And... what are these? Tempted to get some more of this. Do we have these? Ooh. Wow. Got a surprising amount of things that we don't have. But no auto for them. Oh, we need to go back to our private quarters and grab a box. We should have one up here. Let's see if we can find it. Not in there. Not in there. Okay, so we need to find one of these bloody things. I'll see you back in Foundry. Okay, we're back here. So let's go and hunt down these things. And let's start combat. Let's use one of these on the borer. We've got a borer captured. Wow, that's heavy. Let's get rid of this. And now I want to go, whoops, let's get out of combat. I want to go and shoot up one of these other things again. Let's grab a jackhammer. Is it really going to be that heavy? Does it have to be? Apparently it does. All the weight is in these bullets. It's ridiculous. Let's do a little bit of repairing. I can do a basic patching kit. I have them. Oh my god, my brain, why can't I see anything? Yeah, we don't have the basic patching kit, sadly. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. My god, it weighs so much. 8. That weighs 15. Jesus. And there should be some remains still around here. Not if this one and the next one. I sworn there would have been remains here. Should be remains here though. Yeah, remains. Yeah, it's just chromium blades. Okay, I'll see you back at SGS again. Slowly getting our way across with our super heavy things to Quinton. Rather than mine creatures from Foundry, I have a piece of the rock creature. Let me see. Quinton inspects the piece you gave him. Fascinating. It's as if you detach this from a piece of machinery, not a living, breathing creature. This is from its back, right? Is that what you said? Yes. With my awesome biology. Judging by the placement, their function is purely a defensive one. A few of these might be found on the tail, but considering how short it is, I doubt its effectiveness as an offensive weapon. Yes, but do you have any information on its predators, if any? What kind of predator would it take for a creature to develop these quite unprecedented defense mechanisms? What is a creature encased in a rock shell that's covered with metal spikes? I haven't seen any predators or noticed signs thereof. What if they are at the top of the food chain? If they're fungivores, then perhaps it would be hard to imagine creatures of such weight. Well, they have to be heavy, but like this, chasing down or ambushing their prey. Natural selection would not favour them, I don't think, but then again, why the shell, the blades? I mean, there could be a way to attract females, as using vast resources to impress one is not uncommon in the animal world, or the human world. But it's still a bit too far-fetched. No, I don't think that's the case here. Back to the blade in hand. Well, this is what I can tell you about the creature by looking at this. So they have a primarily defensive purpose, just like we talk now. I see no cavities or canals for nerves or blood vessels to go through or accommodate any kind of organic matter. To illustrate what I mean, I'll take our very own bones as an example. We grow our bones through a process called ossification. Do you know what that is? Yes, specialized cells produce calcium, which synthesizes bones. Exactly. Now, bone tissue is usually composed of mineral matrix, which contains these cells. and bones themselves are composed of approximately 70% mineral content. This blade here is one solid piece of metal, no organic matter whatsoever, porosity, and no traces that this grew out of a living being. How does it grow then? I don't know. The tooth enamel, for instance, is almost completely made of hydroxylapatite, a kind of calcium phosphate, with the rest being water and a hint of organic matter. Enamel is formed within the gums, therefore, before the tooth grows out, so there's a possibility this blade is formed within the shell and grows out later. But how, I don't know. Right now I can only make speculations. Here, take this blade back. If you want to test its composition, better have it done by someone. Well, someone who's not a biologist. That's for sure. The smile lifts his mask slightly up. If you can bring me any other part of the creature or a live specimen, then we have ourselves a winner. Yes, however, sorry, it's all fascinating in any case. He catches one of these worms. Quentin inspects the creature as it squirms inside the crate. As soon as it spots him, the creature begins thrashing about, occasionally stopping to aim its head at him and screech in an act of desperate intimidation. Now, this is what I'm talking about. I'd like to take a look at it. Anything I should know before opening the crate? How dangerous is it? I have nothing to worry about. I handle it with my bare hands. He carefully grabs the creature, holding it firmly as it reels in his hands. He takes a good look at it, charmed by its oddity and alien form, before he turns to you. Please wait a while. I'll examine it. It won't take long. The creature suddenly makes a few powerful motions, waving its unheld ends, and shakes Quentin's upper body and prompting him to spread his legs in order a bit to maintain proper balance. He's able to control it, however. This one's a fighter. You wait while Quentin completes his examination, observing as he performs it with great focus and care. However, after only a few minutes, he makes it seem as if he'd been handling these creatures for years. Slowly and steadily, he finishes the examination. He places the creature back into his mobile jail and turns to you, but only to inform you that he needs to leave and do one more test, until I've gone for a while. Soon he returns to you with a genuine smile on his face, overflowing with excitement. He wastes no time. I'm back, Serene Star. I hope you didn't fall asleep waiting for me. You seem happy. I hope you got something good for me. You'll see. First, without dissecting the creature, which I would never do without consulting you, I can tell you a couple of things I've learned so far. The heads do appear to be used for actual drilling, even though I haven't been able to see it in action yet. Obviously, the combination of the unique shape of the head and surprisingly powerful musculature makes me feel it engages its whole body during the process. Maybe it, say, rotates itself in short bursts, or maybe it coils up and releases the energy in that manner. I'm just speculating, which is a fact. What is a fact, though, is that the head is very, very, very tough, and I have no doubt it can bore through hard material without much of an issue. As for the rest of the creature's body, it's segmented and has a decently thick skin covered in what appear to be very soft, delicate scales, or at least something similar to it, as in snakes. It probably helps them move, possibly to retain moisture too. And the skin is also highly sensitive, which makes sense for a creature limited in ways it can acquire information about its environment. There are a few other details about it, but those are quite minor and uninteresting. Now, what I did was a quick superficial examination. I need to dissect the creature to really tell you more about its anatomy. However, I saved some good stuff for last. I decided to do some psi readings. That's why I left the room earlier, and the readings were off the charts. In fact, the creature exhibits a psi signature so strong I'm surprised it does not have some defensive psi abilities at its disposal. However, the signature is also incredibly complex, and I'm not ashamed of telling you, even I'm having problems interpreting it. He shrugs. I'm afraid that analysing is well beyond above my skill level, but I'm absolutely 100% positive that understanding this psi signature will not only help you on your, for lack of a better word, quest, but also pave the way to engrossing scientific discoveries for those of us who care, if nothing else. So there, that's all I have for you. It's all very interesting regarding this psi signature. Do you know anyone who I can take this lava to? Well, as far as psi in general is concerned, Ezra is the top expert in SGS, so he's the right person to bring this critter to. He can't help you, then you're stuck. Yes, well, he hands you back the crate. Yeah, captivating little thing, and this is, and feisty. I'll bring this to him then. Thanks. So, let's slowly make our way up to Ezra. After we've spoken to him, I think I'll probably... No, that's the wrong one. After I've gone to him, I think I will probably end the episode as it's getting on now. Oh, hello, Ezra. Let's first of all do some trading, of which we have no Need. Could you take a look at this for me? Ezra looks at the restless creature, now the apex of its aggravation. He focuses on it in silence, and as moments pass, the creature becomes more and more calm. Slowly but surely, it reaches a point of complete tranquility and motionlessness, on account of which one could easily mistake it for being dead. Ezra? He turns to you. Where did you find this creature? In a mine and foundry. Interesting. Are there any other creatures living amongst or close proximity to these? Yes, creatures with the shells made of rock that have metallic blades on their back. Those are the only ones as far as I know. He speaks for more himself. I see. Another adaptation. It makes sense. And why are you so interested in this subject? Foundry's having difficulties with these creatures, as they're infesting the mine, but the real problem is the beast. A creature identical to what I described, but larger, tougher, and much meaner. As yet, there doesn't seem to be an apparent way to kill it. The creature, because of its heavy armour, is practically invulnerable, and nearly all who faced it lost their lives. If you want to find a way to kill it, very well. I understand everything now. Tell you what you need to know. The creature you brought me is actually the larval form of the rock creature you described. As strange as it may seem, yes, these are their larvae. I've encountered them in the past, in different forms, though. Regardless, I can help you find this adaptation's weakness. But for that, you will have to bring me some part of the creature to analyse. Try to bring me a piece of its shell or backblades if you can. If not, then bring whatever you are able to acquire. I have a piece of one right here. Let me see it. I will be right back. He takes a sample from you and leaves the room. Oh, at least we're getting things done. Ezra returns shortly, just as I suspected. Discovered anything interesting? I've managed to analyse the composition of this impure chromium blade, and I emphasise this because over 90% of it is indeed chromium. But that you knew already. However, what you didn't know is that the other 10% which differentiates vermin from a walking apocalypse. Foundry is very unfortunate in having their surrounding rock made up of some of the hardest minerals in nature, for it is these materials which together form the living armour of these creatures. And I'm not just talking about their shell. No, it's their whole bodies which are composed of these metals and minerals, albeit in varying quantities depending on the section, of course. Chromium is in itself a resistant metal, but its strength lies in its high heat resistance. The rest of the materials serve to counteract mechanical forces acting upon the organism. It appears that in small creatures, this robustness can be overcome by conventional means, if barely. In the beast, I'd suggest you turn to Foundry and tell them to collapse the cave where it lives and abandon them altogether, but that isn't an option or else you wouldn't be here. Luckily, there is a way. By my calculations, and I've taken all the approximate constituent elements found inside the sample into consideration, the temperature necessary to melt these creatures' shells should be at least 2,500 degrees centigrade. Ironically, considering chromium is practically the essence of these creatures, this seems to be the most realistic way to defeat it, as Foundry is likely to have some means, be it a furnace or something else, which can melt chromium, hence producing temperatures this high. What about plasma weapons? How come these are ineffective against the beast when plasma can reach insane temperatures? When all molecules are ionized, yes, plasma can reach theoretically temperatures in the range of billions of degrees. However, most conventional plasma weapons we have today use plasma where only a fraction of gas molecules are ionized. There are three primary reasons for this. The first one is technological limitation. The second is power consumption. The third is the fact that the shooter does not want to be evaporated, together with everything else around him when firing his weapon. So it seems we're going to find a way to lure the beast into the foundry and kill it. Anything you can do to help me with the luring part? And what will you do once it's in foundry? Do you have a plan? Don't know exactly yet, but the fact of the matter is that I still need to lure it somehow. I don't have many other options. Remember what I told you, the composition of materials and minerals in the shell makes it highly resistant to mechanical forces and high temperature. However, I'm sure you'll be able to find something there that will produce more than 2,500 degrees necessary to kill it. It is foundry after all. I happen to know from previous research how these creatures communicate. With the larva form you brought me, I think I'll be able to create a device that you will be able to use to summon the creature. At least it should. What do you mean it should? This is an improvised device that I'm making out of components I have at hand. Things can go awry. Maybe it'll summon the creature you want. Maybe it'll summon something else. You won't know until you press the button. Oh. Hopefully that hasn't done anything to the recording, but I shall continue anyway. We've just got a screen flash there. Making the device shouldn't take long, though I believe I have all the necessary components right here. Wait some more, would you? He returns with the gift he promised. Here it is. Try your best not to disturb the larva within the device too much. You need it to be alive for the device to function properly. Catch you later. Ooh, wow, we got some XP. And we've lost Chrome Blade. Where are we overweight still? We are. Site amplifier. Okay. So, when I return, we will be back at Foundry, and I will just quickly pop the chromium blade away now. That'll give me at least a bit of moving ability. So anyway, thank you ever so much for watching. If you've enjoyed, please subscribe. If not, do not worry, and we'll see you next time back in Foundry, where we shall complete this quest, hopefully. Yeah, assuming we can actually make it. Anyway, thank you again. See you next time. Goodbye.